up. So the book we've been covering is 48 Laws of Power. So we brought y'all Law 1, so now we're gonna bring y'all Law 2. So Law 2 is never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. So
Let's talk about it. Us being the band of brothers, specifically, I want to ask my brothers, how do you feel about that? What is specifically, what is your interpretation of that law? Because when you hear that, it's kind of throw offish, correct? It
it's
kind
a
of,
little tricky.
yeah, it's a little tricky. It can get tricky if you don't interpret the meaning in the correct way. It could possibly cause a little bit of a rift or maybe conflict within the camp. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna start it off with we are divine gods sent to this earthly plane to learn earthly lessons.
Right.
In the midst of learning these earthly lessons, we are not in our full divinity. Since we are in our full divinity, we are prone to make mistakes because none of us are flawless in this earthly realm.
Yeah.
I say that to say I understand never putting too much key, like looking at the words, never put it. Don't say not to trust. It said don't put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. So as we like to do here in the book, it gives you a transgression of the law. So for you, those of y'all out there, it gives you a way somebody screwed up the law. It gives you an interpretation, keys to power, and they'll give you an observance of the law, somebody who did right by it. So what we like to do here is talk about how we have transgressed the law or how we've observed it. I gave my spiel just now on what I took from just the title. So, I didn't mention the how to use enemies part. That part I ain't learned yet. I'm gonna keep it G. I ain't learned how to use enemies yet like that. I mean, I probably have used them some way, somehow.
In terms of the text, I think it's more about using your enemies to conquer your goal.
I agree.
A lot of times people throw their own people or they throw their own selves out there and they put themselves out there and they make themselves vulnerable or they make their companions or their contemporaries vulnerable. And instead of using your own, you can use the enemy against himself, or you can use
Hell yeah.
instead of using putting yourself at danger, putting yourself at risk.
Right.
You can make the enemy look like he's a fool rather than put yourself out there and putting yourself in harm's way and making yourself vulnerable. So putting too much trust in your friends could I think that's also about leadership.
It's leadership and it's knowing your friends.
Bingo. Knowing how to
Your friends. Like I spent a lot of time in the church growing up, and it's like for those of y'all who know, who've read the Bible, studied the Bible, whatever, I'm only using it in the context to as a teaching slash conversational moment, not trying to preach to y'all. Jesus had like his core group of disciples. He had the 12, but he had like a certain 3 or 4 though. Like he didn't take everybody on every mission.
Right.
So like whether you want to admit it or not, everybody got a homie who probably can't fight that good. We not gonna take that homie to the Rumble.
Bingo.
Because if you take that homie to the Rumble, you not gonna be able to handle your woo ops how you need to, because in the back of your mind, you're gonna be worried about the homie who he gonna get worked.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, it's kind of like I get not putting too much trust in friends, but you got to know which friends and what you entrusting in them. So, what about you, B? Me and G been holding the floor.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in that same hue aspect of knowing what to trust the homies with, because it's a difference and just putting that full trust. Oh, because you're the homie, I know you're gonna take care of it. 9 times out of 10, and I hate to be this, I didn't used to be like this, and I was gonna call this negative, but now as I grow with this experience, I'm just gonna say, with this experience, history proves to me that you can't always do that, man. It just don't work that way. And it don't necessarily, I would say, have to be an enemy, because like I said, this book is probably not gonna be dead on as far as, you know what I mean, labeling, but situations. It may not always have to be an enemy that you can use, you know what I mean? And as a tool, not as just like some manipulative things, but like, you know what I
Right.
mean? I'm learning everybody has a role and is a piece to the bigger puzzle.
Indeed.
You
Indeed.
got to step outside of the situation and use people for their strengths and also for the weaknesses. So that's what I'm gathering from that, and pretty much this book as we go.
I got you. Yeah, just to not like, we always suggest y'all read for yourselves. Like famous out there, they say do your own research. It's very
Absolutely.
important to do your own research.
You have to develop your own
Um,
interpretation.
in the book, it gives you a transgression about a guy named Michael III from the Byzantine Empire. He put a friend that was from the lower realms of life, and friend was a stable boy, and then he gave his friend more power, more power, more power. In the end, his friend, did that man in. So that was the
Greed and
transgression.
envy.
And I from that standpoint, I mean, I want to say I transgressed the law, but I transgressed it in the way of I knew who to trust. And I'm going to throw that out there right now. Like, we are all thespians, actors, creators, and a stage play that I wrote that me and G Thing produced. We were all in it, but Brandon was a first time actor. So we were having a hard time finding a role for one specific character. We kept having issues. G Thing was like, bro, you're going to have to play it.
Yep.
Brandon came and read with the cast, and he was just like, hey, bro, if you never find nobody else, if you could put me on, I'd appreciate it. Now, this is our first time as a theater company, as our business that we got, our entertainment company, putting on a production. So I had to entrust in a first time rookie actor that he was going to be able to do the job.
Yeah. You did a great job.
Blessed for us, it
Hey,
worked
thank you.
out. But that shit could have went way left. It had the potential to go way left, but that goes back to what we said earlier, knowing who you can trust and who you could put in those positions.
And I got to put that on air. I appreciate y'all for that opportunity, because that shit has been life changing, and that's one of my mottos that I'm living and by. I'm not gonna say die, because I believe in the power of my words now, but that I live by strongly. Fuck it, just
Right.
do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. That shit
Yeah.
right there says so much. It speaks so much volumes. It's just like, you never know what you're capable of unless you just step out. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you jump off the porch, you know what I'm saying, the net gonna appear. So uh what did you guys think about the example they said with this law? When you do somebody a favor, it feels like it becomes a burden to them. Have you ever experienced anything like that, where you feel like somebody was like, it was just all of a sudden it's a little different now?
With some family, yeah. With some family. Fam People who are related to you through familial ties aren't family. I'm gonna say that on air. My family is
Mm-hmm.
y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like
I think
we all got those cousins, some aunts or some uncles who it's just like, you know.
I think part of that.
Oh yes, it's negativity.
Brandon, to answer your question, I think that's a matter of it's a matter of entitlement. Entitlement is come with that. So that's why it's like
that.
when you do things or when say I send you to do something for me, Brandon, and this is what I think also, this is my interpretation of what they mean about the law specifically. Brandon is my friend, or he's one of my homies, and I got an issue with somebody else, and I say, hey, I know Brandon has a common issue with that person too. You know what I'm saying? I'll send my friend over there to, you know what I'm saying, hey, go over there and do X, Y, and Z for me, or, you know, say go see about X, Y, and Z for me. And I know Brandon got an issue with him. You feel me, Brandon? I'll send him, but Brandon's my friend. Right? Brandon's my friend. So why would I do that? Why would I put him in danger? Right? Because we got a common enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would I do that instead of maybe formulating a plan in a different way, right? I could formulate a plan in a different way and use my enemy.
Yeah. Because,
you know, I could use my enemy to kill himself.
Exactly.
You know, or I could call Brandon and use him as an ally. You know, but I might need him as a favor. Well, no, I won't need him as a favor.
When you said entitled, I'm sure y'all probably seen the clip. We rock with 50 over here, the industry bully. When he was on the Breakfast Club and he was talking about that, he said that he was like entitlement. He was like entitlement with people that you came up with. If you got it, they automatically feel entitled. Like, as y'all see, me and Brandon got on LA Riots. This is the clothing line he created. Imagine us just being mad entitled, like, hey, B, give us some clothes. Give us some clothes, instead of putting a little bit of money in the homie pocket. Like, just because he got the brand and he got clothes on me, he's just supposed to give it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, entitlement is a bitch, because I just remember that interview when 50 was just like, niggas like didn't have that same hunger he had. So now they felt like, because he got it, they supposed to get it.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't get strong off of my training. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can feed knowledge to you, but like, if I'm repping out 10 weighted pull-ups, you can't expect to do it just because I'm doing it if you ain't putting the work in.
Bingo. It's like you ain't shooting with me in the gym.
Exactly. Let me see, what was a word that stuck out to y'all in this?
Shit, trust. That's a deep word. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a heavy word.
Responsibility. It was responsibility.
Responsibility.
Yep.
Mine was impudence. I just like reading it. And then one of the other parts when I was reading it, and it's just like, damn, that shit is, because I understand, like, enemigos keep you on your toes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to stay sharp, but I think that Voltaire quote is like always impactful, because it's, Lord, protect me from my friends, my enemies, I can take care of those.
Because they know everything about you. Your friends are closer to you than your enemies are.
Yeah.
You know? They're more likely to be at the hands of your demise than your enemy will, because they know everything about you.
That's what history shows.
They're more vulnerable.
That's what history shows.
Yeah.
We can go from movies, we can go from text.
They privy and sensitive to a lot of information that your enemy don't know. And they liable to go click up with your enemy.
Yep.
You know, just because they know that information.
Yeah.
You know, if they see you weak, you know, and they looking at the enemy and they like, oh man, this nigga over here, He in bad shape. What's your man's name from 300? Little Quasimodo.
Yep.
I forgot his name. Yeah.
Yeah, you get smutted, or you feel like, oh, I did too much. He's been sending me to do X, Y, and Z, and that's the piggyback on what you said before, Brandon. That's like sending your friend to do shit. You sending him on missions, and he feels like I should be the man. I should be you, because you ain't in the field.
Fredo
right?
and Michael.
Yeah, you're not in the field. I'm out here doing all the killings. You sending me to do everything. I might as well just knock you off. So now that's where it becomes tricky about not doing too much with your friend.
I mean, you look at so much stuff. Like you want to go text Caesar and Brutus. You want to go text Jesus and Judas. You wanna look at cinema. Look at Nino and
Rico.
G-Money.
Yeah, Michael and
Fredo.
Yeah.
Rico and Mitch. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fredo, it's the treachery.
It be the ones that's right there with you that could get you. Yeah, man. With observing it in they sense, I don't think I've done that. But every law is applicable
I think I've seen it. I've never
probably.
Maybe I've had common enemies.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Using they're easy to manipulate. In a sense, you can use them against one another, but I've never really. Not with my close friends. My like I said, like you said, my friends are my brothers. So never we live by a particular code anyway.
That and it's like with the ones who isn't born into like I'm going to coin this term. The ones that ain't born in the family is forced relation in some sense. Like I didn't choose you. Like this is what it is. But with how we bond, we choose this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With family, it's forced relation in some sense. So yeah, man. Any other key takeaways from 2 for y'all?
No, not really. Just shit. Keep your eyes peeled for situations like that. Something that you can use as an example. You know what I mean? There's plenty of examples that I can think of. Probably not to that much of a detriment, but certain instances you're like, oh, okay, I see how that law, how I can violate that law and that law can be violated. But using enemies, like you said, I haven't really, not yet at least.
And in in the book, at the end of it, a lot of times it'll give you a reversal for when you can. So I guess in my sense and in some of ours, we've done a reverse where the reversal worked for us. It worked in our favor with the play, with you taking on the role of Chris. So yeah, man. I like the vibe we have right there.
Oh yeah, another key thing as well though, using their weaknesses against them. Instead of sending your friends as well. You can use if they have an Achilles heel where they'll possibly get themselves out the way rather than you having to send someone. So just about being smart, being responsible. That's why right there. The word responsibility.
I like that. So yeah, when we post it up, we'll have all our keywords that we each came with. So yeah, y'all. For y'all out there, like, tell us what you thought. If you're reading it, audio booking it, rocking with us. If you read the book before, tap in with us, and we love to keep this discourse going and have that feedback with y'all. So yeah.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you.
Blessings.
Love.
Peace.